What's up, guys? Pastor Rob here, back with another reaction video. As usual, I've got my son Gage.
What's up?
And as usual, we're going to be reacting to a song requested by you guys in the comment section of our channel. Keep in mind, this is not an endorsement of the song, the artist, or the genre as a whole, but an attempt to create discussion and encourage discernment while listening to music. To learn more about us, visit PastorRobReacts.com and consider supporting us by buying a shirt from our sponsor, Fallen by Nature, Christian Streetwear at fallenbynature.com, or even better, support us on Patreon or a variety of other ways. I have links down in the description of this video. Today's song is a song by a friend of ours, actually. It's my friend Chris Adam. You've met Chris. We meet on Zoom on occasion. He lives in Canada right now, so obviously we don't meet in person. He is formerly from the Christian Metal Source. He used to do reaction videos and a variety of other things with Christian Metal Source. Currently, he's with For the Rock, and also he was the singer, or is the singer, of White Robe Nation. And this song is from his new band called Refiner. We haven't actually reacted to any of his music.
Yeah.
No reason in particular. We just
haven't
got around to it. And he messaged me and told me about the upcoming release of this song. And I said, you know what? We need to react to a song of yours. Actually, I've been thinking about asking him anyways. So here we are. Yeah, so that worked out.
So is this just him, or are there other members?
I don't know.
It's like a solo? You don't
Chris,
know?
I'm sorry. I have no idea. I have no idea. I know he's doing the vocals. That much I know.
Okay.
I have a few notes here that I jotted down. The song is called Clock and Veil, and it's a lyric video done by Ed of a Secret Ending band, who is working on a video.
He is.
For a song that Gage is working on. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to listen to the song, review it. Hopefully it's good, Chris, because we really don't hold back here. But I trust that it will be. You ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I like that. This quality is wonderful already. Wow. I like that. Oh, I like that. Woo! Nasty. That riff is tight. Hey. Nasty. Nice. Wow.
I like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice, Chris. Video is on point too. Gee whiz.
I like that album cover.
That's sick. Ooh, like how kind of... Man, drums are great. Wow.
Cool ending.
Wow.
I like that.
Wow. So I have to admit, so first off, my reaction is not biased because I know him. I'm going to say that straight out. Like, I actually, no offense, Chris, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, not based on anything else. I just wasn't expecting it to be that good. And this is, we've done a couple songs before this, so some pretty talented artists. And honestly, this song was good.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Before we started the video, Gage said, I hope he doesn't mind if I don't like it that I say something.
You're already going to make me look bad.
Well, but my point is, I'm assuming based off your reaction that you were surprised.
Yeah, it was better than I thought, actually. Like, sound quality, mixing.
Sound quality was great.
Everything was,
Drums
solid.
were great.
Drums were great, yeah.
Vocals,
yeah. Yeah, I was impressed.
I was highly impressed.
The video was great.
The video was great. It's kind of like made me anxious a little bit.
Yeah, it really worked well to complement the song.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Great job on that, Ed. Fantastic work. I'm sure you put a lot of effort into that. Great job, Chris, on that. Make sure y'all visit his Instagram. And I thought I wrote it down, but I did not. I think it was at Refiner Band. Darn. I'll have a link in the description to find him. But lyric-wise.
Yeah,
let's take a look at the lyrics. So I was quite impressed with it. So you have a couple things going here. Let's see here. When I look at the title of the song, Clock and Veil, and based off...
I like that name. This is such a random reference, but I had a Hot Wheels car called Cloak and Dagger. And the name Clock and Veil just makes me think of that because, like, veil, cloak. But it was cool because the car had, like, an actual, like, plastic, like, cloak that you could take off the car. And it was just super cool to me because, like, the design of the car was like a skeleton. You take off the cloak. I don't know. Random, really cool. But it was pretty sick.
A little nostalgia. You're
starting, a little bit.
I'm starting to get old. That's how you know you're getting old. You start having nostalgic moments like that. And connecting things that really don't connect.
Yeah.
As old people do.
Little senior moment.
Yeah, there you go.
It's so cool.
So, yeah, Clock and Veil. So, the clock, to me, based off, he used it in the song, the time on this clock ticks, ticks, ticks.
Yeah. It reminded me of that Metallica song, Frantic.
I don't know that song.
Yeah.
Or Silent Planet, tick, talking to the space in a room or something like that.
That was a lot better than the Metallica one.
Yeah. So the clock could be either the passing of life, like life's passing by, you better figure this out, or something, which we'll get to. Or that as time is passing, things are becoming more clear. I don't know. Because when the veil, veil is like a garment that covers the face, like a bride wears, over their face, and they pull it back to reveal themselves. The Bible mentions it in several different ways, both male and female. In one case, they use it as an illustration of the gospel being veiled from people, which is interesting because it's possible that the whole song is about somebody who didn't know the gospel and then understood the gospel, right? The veil rips. Or it's potentially a believer who was struggling a bit with their faith. Things were kind of getting dark, and things became clear. And I'll tell you why I think it could be that in a second. But this verse from 2 Corinthians 4, verses 1 to 6. Therefore, having this ministry by the mercy of God, we do not lose heart. But we have renounced disgraceful, underhanded ways. We refuse to practice cunning or to tamper with God's word, but by the open statement of the truth, we would commend ourselves to everyone's conscience in the sight of God. So it's basically saying we preach truthfully, and we don't try to deceive people or use magic tricks to get people to believe. And then he says, and even if our gospel is veiled, It is veiled to those who are perishing. In their case, the God of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelievers to keep them from seeing the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. For what we proclaim is not ourselves, but Jesus Christ as Lord, with ourselves as your servants for Jesus' sake. For God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," has shone in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. It's important to read that verse, because when you go through these verses here of the song, so like verse 1, I had to actually look that word up because I didn't know what it meant. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Coruscating? I don't know. Never used it. But that means to flash. So flashing light in the darkness disturbs my lack of vision. So to me, it's probably somebody who's lost. But even if it's not somebody that's lost, it's somebody who's sort of stagnated in their faith, lukewarm, backslid, if you want to use that term, right? So these flashes of light, which light is in the Bible, truth a lot of times, flashes of light in the darkness disturbs my lack of vision. So I'm not really paying attention right now because I'm asleep or lost. Shapes and sounds all around me, no clear sense of direction. So again, lost, no sense of direction, right? Then it goes to that chorus about time and not being able to see. Disintegrating, perceived annihilation, whispers in the silence telling me I'm not finished. So I feel like this section here, disintegrating, perceived annihilation, could be the thoughts of the unbeliever, just assuming it could be a literal reference to annihilationism, like you just die and there's nothing, or this somebody who's a Christian who thinks maybe they're just going to go to hell anyways, or a lost person assuming that they're going to hell. But there's whispers in the silence telling them they're not finished. So it feels like he's finished, but something is telling him there's still more. Like the Spirit of God. It's like whispering, right? Mm-hmm. And this is where it connects really with that verse I read. A light under the doorway, something or someone knocking and knocking. My sense of belonging, behold, pain, refreshing. So you think about like the light under the door, which I mentioned in that verse I read. Let light shine out of darkness, as shown in our heart, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God. So that light could be a reference to that. And the whole knocking thing is really a reference where Jesus said, I stand at the door and knock. Whoever opens, I'll come into him, right?
Yeah.
Now, a proper interpretation that the scriptures often used wrong as unbelievers, Jesus knocking on the heart of unbelievers, and then all the unbeliever has to do is let him in, right? Again, it's used that way sometimes, and maybe that's the case here. But in its proper context, it's really about, it's actually Jesus is referencing the Song of Solomon, where a sound, my beloved is knocking, open to me. He's referencing that, and it's basically an invitation for the reader to be converted, or not to be converted, but to renew their relationship with Christ that has already begun, like a husband and a wife. I have a quote here from Reformation Trust here. He says, this is not an invitation for the readers to be converted, but to renew themselves in a relationship with Christ that had already begun, as apparent from verse 19, those whom I love. So the reference in the verse is to those whom I love, those who already been converted. And so the allusion to the Song of Solomon points to a focus on renewal of relationships since the husband knocks on the door of the bedchamber to encourage his wife to continue to express her love to him and let him enter. But she at first hesitates to do so. Christ the husband is doing the same thing to his bride, the church. It's a little different. So that's why it's possible that this is a believer struggling, but it's also possible, because the verse is used the other way quite often, it's an unbeliever. I like this. Convinced of indoctrination, death is laid to waste even lower than 6 feet under. It's impossible, they claim. It's almost like the light.
I like the graphic that went with that part too.
Yeah.
The guy falling.
Yes.
That was cool. And it kept getting darker.
Yep. Convinced of indoctrination. So now his minds begin to change. The light of the gospel has shone in, right? And now he's realizing that all he's believed is a result of indoctrination. People love to accuse Christians of being indoctrinated. Meanwhile, they hold to all sorts of indoctrination that they've just been fed throughout school and never questioned it.
Yeah.
Think about that. I'm going to ask you this. Do you know how you know if you're indoctrinated or not? Because you've never questioned the things you've been taught, simply put. You just take it for what it is. Okay, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. But yeah, that's the right answer, then that's the one I'm going to believe. If that's the right answer on the test, I adopt that. That's indoctrination. You can't pass until you agree with what they say is true in school, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's indoctrination. Death is laid to waste. That's what was accomplished on the cross. Jesus overcame death. Death was laid to waste, even lower than 6 feet under, more than dead. I don't know. It's impossible, they claim. Who, what, when, and where. Why would you hide this from me? So this makes me think it's a person who's never heard the gospel. Why would you hide this from me? I don't know what the lair is, but basically he's like digging deeper into this truth. What's behind that door? I want to call that the lair, right? Mm-hmm. Search and you will discover. Seek and you shall find, Jesus says, right? And then the clock ticks, ticks, ticks. The veil rips, rips, rips. So as time keeps on passing, this veil slowly rips. My sense of reality, distorted by the hands of time. My compass is broken. Set me in a new direction. So he's asking to be changed. Fix me, I beg you. Change my view. Life renewed in this moment of abnegation. I cannot deny a work on my selfish heart. So in this moment of regret, that's what that word means, like regretting something. So in this moment of regret, my life's renewed in this moment of regret. I'm regretting all the things I had once done, the conviction of the Spirit, conviction of sin. I'm regretting. I cannot deny. I feel like the lyrics I have here says a work on my selfish heart. It seemed different in the song. I don't know. I thought it said work of my selfish heart.
I don't remember.
Have to go back and look at that. But so I have to skip that since I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Reason for purpose, no longer worthless. Do what you will. Put me in your service. Refiner, refine me.
Yeah,
cool. That was sick, wasn't it?
That was. I love the graphic when they brought in the logo.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Logo.
Yeah.
And it was cool how he brought his band's name into the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of shows the meaning behind the name too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I didn't really know what it meant, like refiner. What's that?
So Jesus in the prophecies in Malachi chapter 2 talks about him. He will be like a refiner. So a refiner, this is important. So like in today's language, what's a refiner do? Like,
I've never heard the word refine used like refiner.
Calling somebody
like yeah.
We know what it means to refine something,
yeah.
to filter it down to its best qualities or filter it down in some way,
Yeah.
right? Refiner is the person doing that. I like this quote from John Piper, one that I've leaned on several times when I've talked about this. He is a refiner's fire, and that makes all the difference. A refiner's fire does not destroy indiscriminately like a forest fire. A refiner's fire does not consume completely like the fire of an incinerator. A refiner's fire refines, it purifies, it melts down the bar of silver or gold, separates out the impurities that ruin its value, burns them up, and leaves the silver and gold intact. He is like a refiner's fire.
Yeah, cool.
Jesus is a refiner. He takes us and he pulls out that filth, that when we stand before God on Judgment Day that we'd be guilty of. He filters all that out, and we're presented as pure silver and gold. Mm-hmm. And in life, he refines us by fire, like trials and things like that, or things that refine us to be more like him and to lean on him more and to trust him more and to love him more and become more like Christ. That's the refiner's fire. Fire indicates some sort of pain. That hurts.
Yeah.
So that's the two ways to look at, like, in this life, being refined for the glory of God, for the gospel, for the sake of the gospel, and in a gospel sense that Jesus, his death, removes the impurities of our soul and presents us before God as pure silver and gold, blemishless, because of the refiner's work. So Jesus, refiner, refine me. Chris, great song. Great song. Great song.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, thoroughly impressed. I don't think it releases for a couple more weeks, so
We're gonna sit on this for a little
yeah,
bit.
it's gonna be a while before we drop it. But I'm really excited to drop it because I really hope people can dig into it. It's very possible that I miss this whole thing by a mile, which can happen, but I don't let the artist tell me what the song's about because I want to dig into it and see what I can get out of it. Could be about anything, I don't know. But knowing him, I know it has something to do with Jesus. I know that much is true. As far as my interpretation of some of the stuff, that's up for debate, as we've learned over time. But certainly, I'm sure in the end it had something to do with Jesus. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for always clicking on the alert. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Gosh, I don't even know what else to say. I'm really stoked because of the song. It's got me a little bit hyped. So
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing it again. I'll be listening for that bass thing you commented about. See what you said. You know what? There's still time for him to fix the mix. I may have to send him a message.
True.
All right. Well, thank you for watching the video. Until the next one, may the light of the Lord continue to shine on you. Peace.
Peace.